All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Karkadash, and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem. In the name of Hamashiach Yahushua, those are the true names in ancient Paleo Hebrew, Barashkadash, Tongue, I say Barakadam to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a quick sit down lesson of the World War III news updates as we continue to see the battle of Shredder for Moose over there in the Western Asia, as we see these tensions are only escalating between Iran and the United States. It says from the Associated Press, it says live updates. It said Trump orders U.S. military to shoot and unalive Iranian small boats, choking the Strait of Hormuz. While you got the United States continue to block the Strait of Hormuz, because Iran ain't gonna respond back because the United States keep on blocking the Strait of Hormuz. And then you have Nero 47 said earlier this morning made the announcement that ordered the military troops to shoot and unalive Iranian small boats choking the Strait of Hormuz. So that's what you call modern day the battle of the Strait of Hormuz. So these oil wars and these nuclear wars continue to heat up between Iran and the United States. Like it says in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. Yep, it says to understand Matthew 24 verse 6 from the KJV Bible, consider these key points. It says Yahweh Shai warns that there will be wars and rumors of wars. Right. Yahweh Shai says we'll see uptick of wars, rumors of wars. It says he emphasized that these events are not signs of the end. Right. These just beginning signs of it. It says the verse highlights the importance of not being troubled by such occurrence. Right. Being untroubled by such occurrence, because we're going to see the uptick of wars and rumors of wars. And that's what we see in our world today, especially Iran versus the United States, the battle spread from Moose, and all these wars and rumors of wars that's taking place in the world today. Because you had, because I spoke about that, because I did an outside lesson about it. You have these tensions are heating up between Iran and Israel Defense Force once again, because you had one of the leaders of Iran saying that they ready to go back to war with Iran, despite the fact that the ceasefire might expire between Lebanon and Israel Defense Force. Because you had a recent airstrike from the Israel Defense Force, because they've been targeting the Israeli soldiers. Because Israeli soldiers, they used recent airstrikes in the past 3.5 days against Hezbollah. So a cross-border conflict is still continuing to heat up, despite the fact they got the ceasefire. And most likely the ceasefire is going to expire. And then Israel Defense Force said they ready to go back to war with Iran and the Israel Defense Force. So this is what you call wars and rumors of wars. And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 7, red letter Yahushua speaking in the Holy Scriptures. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right, that's what we're seeing. Nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. This goes into ethnos. And there shall be famines and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. So we're going to be seeing these nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom, which is only going to increase. And this is the prophet Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. Joel chapter 3 verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Right, so the prophet Joel was mentioned. This is being proclaimed among the Gentiles of the armies of the other nations. It says, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near enough to come up. Right, so let all the men of war draw near enough to come up. Because you got tensions are heating back up while the nations are being gathered over there in the West Valley Jehoshaphat. And you got Nero 47 talking about order U.S. military troops to shoot and unalive anybody that's Iran soldiers and unalive them on sight. That shows you that despite the fact he pushed for that and extending of a ceasefire, but he haven't set no deadline for it. That shows you that the tensions are really escalating between these armies of nations, especially throughout Western Asia, as the nations to continue to be gathered up over there in Western Asia throughout that whole region. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. It says, wake up the mighty man. Right, that's what we're seeing. The Heavenly Father putting that spirit on these armies of nations, waking up the mighty man. let all the men of war draw near. Yah let all the men of war draw near over there in the Middle East, which is Western Asia, and let them come up, right, and gather more and more over there in that area throughout the whole region. That's why you had that's why you had the Israel Defense Force said they ready to go back to war once again with Iran, despite the fact they got this peace talks and ceasefire agreements in place. It says beat your plowshares and so on because you got Iran and the Israel Defense Force. They basically like arch enemies, despite the fact they got these peace talks agreements towards one another. But the Israel Defense Force dealing with an increasing multi-front war, which they've been dealing with that throughout the years as of recent. It says, beat your plowshares and the swords and the plenty hooks and the spears, and let the weak sound strong. Right, so let the weak sound strong. And that's what we're seeing with the pro-Iranian groups of Hezbollah and all these pro-Iranian groups. They ready to get back to the battlefield as well too, to rise up against the Israel Defense Force. Hello. 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 Somebody call ahead saying that. Yeah, this is Joel chapter 3, verse 10. Beat your plowshares and the swords and plenteous in the spirits. Let the weak sound strong. Right, so let the weak sound strong. So you got the Iranians and the pro-Iranian groups rise up against the Israel Defense Force and the United States armies. So we're going to continue to see that increase. Let the weak sound strong. And this is the book of Revelations, and I'm closed out. This was just a real quick, World War III news updates. And this is Revelations 11, verse 14. The second will pass before the third will come quickly. Right, so the second will pass before the third will come quickly. So as I mentioned again, this was just a quick update of the World War III news updates as the battle of Script for Moose continued to increase. Then you had Nero 47, which recently made that announcement to basically like unalive on sight of the Iranians that that the United States Army is going to target if they keep on continuing to try and have full control of the Strait of Hormuz while the United States keep on blocking the Strait of Hormuz. And best believe Iran is going to respond back. That's why they've been sieging these oil tanks. If they find these oil tanks kind of suspicious, that's allies that's affiliated with the United States and its defense force. Best believe they're going to seize the tanks. They're going to look at suspicious. They might fire upon them as well too. And so the United States doing the same thing as well too. And so this battle of Strait of Hormuz is really going to heat back up. Because Iran, they haven't made no Iran haven't made no decision about having negotiation talks because they don't fully trust the United States, because they might have second thoughts. Because remember last time, like what was that, 2 months ago, because they had like a third round of talks, and then the United States back out of that, and then they did that unprovoked campaign strike against the Iranians. So that's why Iran think it's smart this time. They're like, we don't fully trust it because you got a president in the White House. He's kind of double-minded, he's kind of unstable. So we don't really fully trust that. So that shows that these tensions potentially might spark back up once again between Iran and the United States in the battle of Strait of Hormuz. So as I mentioned again, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of the World War III news updates as of April the 23rd, 2026 on this Thursday afternoon. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash, and your Heavenly Father, which you name is Yahweh, and His unbegotten Son, Ba'ashem, in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai. Those are the Jew names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Rosh Hashanah on the tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Akim, Akwaf. And to the next time, I would say Kum Yasharala in the Bible Ball. Shalom.